11 mind-blowing cat senses that might prove they see the paranormal. Have you ever caught your cat staring into a corner so intensely, it made your skin crawl? No sound. No movement. No reason you could understand. And yet, they keep watching. For centuries, people have believed cats are connected to something beyond the normal world. Something hidden. Something spiritual. Something not entirely explainable. And honestly, the more you understand their senses, the harder it becomes to dismiss those strange moments as nothing. Because cats don't experience reality the way we do. They hear things you can't hear. They detect movement you can't see. They react to changes in the air, the energy of a room, even the emotional state of the people around them. So when your cat suddenly freezes, follows something invisible with their eyes, or bolts from a room for no clear reason, are they just being a cat? Or are they sensing something your human mind was never built to notice? In this video, we're revealing 11 mind-blowing cat senses that make it eerily believable that cats might be seeing what we cannot, maybe even what some people call the paranormal. And stay with us until number 1, because that final sense is the one that makes even skeptics pause. But before we begin, take a second to like the video and subscribe. And now, let's step into the hidden world your cat may be living in every single day. Number 11. Cats can detect movement in places that look completely empty to you. One of the creepiest things a cat can do is suddenly lock onto a spot in the room and track something with their eyes that you cannot see at all. To you, it's empty space. To them, it's clearly not. Cats are built to notice the tiniest flicker of movement. Their vision is specially designed to detect subtle shifts that most humans would miss instantly. A tiny shadow. A faint vibration. A microscopic motion in dim light. That means when your cat slowly turns its head, pauses, then follows something across a blank wall. It may not be imagination. It may be a movement so small your brain never even registered it. And when that happens late at night, in silence, with no obvious cause, it becomes very easy to understand why people start wondering if cats are seeing more than insects or dust. Because to the cat, something moved. And whatever moved, had its full attention. Number 10. Their hearing reaches into a world of hidden sound. If you've ever watched your cat's ears twitch toward nothing, there may be a reason. Cats can hear frequencies far beyond the human range. High-pitched electrical hums. Tiny scratching sounds inside walls. Distant movements you would never notice. Vibrations from creatures too small or too far away for you to detect. This is why cats sometimes react before anything visible happens. They may stare at a closed hallway, rotate their ears toward the ceiling, or suddenly run to a door before anyone knocks. To a human, it feels unsettling because there is no obvious trigger. But to a cat, the signal may have been loud and clear. And this is where paranormal stories often begin. A room feels still. The house feels silent. Then your cat reacts like something just entered the space. Maybe it's just sound beyond your range. Or maybe that's exactly why these moments feel so eerie. Because something was there, just not in a way you could perceive. Number 9. Cats are masters of the dark in ways that feel almost supernatural. Most humans lose confidence the moment light disappears. Cats do not. Their eyes are designed for low light, allowing them to navigate and observe in darkness that would leave you nearly blind. This is why your cat can move calmly through a dark room, while you're struggling not to trip over furniture. Now think about what that means at 3 a.m. You wake up. The room is dim. Everything looks still. But your cat is already upright. Already staring. Already watching some point in the darkness like it has shape and meaning. That moment hits people hard because darkness strips away our certainty. We cannot tell what is there. But the cat behaves as if it can. And maybe it can. Not because it's magical, at least not necessarily, but because it can extract visual information from darkness far better than you can. Enough to make it seem like it's interacting with another layer of the room. A layer you never had access to. Number 8. They sense vibrations before you feel anything at all. Sometimes a cat reacts before a storm. Before a knock. Before footsteps. Before something falls. Before anything in your body tells you that the environment has changed. That is because cats are incredibly sensitive to vibration. Through their paws, bodies, and finely tuned nervous systems, they can pick up subtle environmental changes long before humans consciously notice them. Tiny tremors. Floor movement. Pressure changes. Shifts in the atmosphere. This may explain why some cats suddenly become tense or alert for no visible reason. They're not reacting late. They're reacting early. And when humans witness this without understanding the cause, it creates that same old feeling people have described for generations. My cat knew something was there before I did. Whether that something is natural or not, the experience feels uncanny every single time. Number 7. Their whiskers turn the air itself into information. Most people think whiskers are just adorable. They're not. They're instruments. A cat's whiskers are deeply sensitive tools that help them measure space, detect movement in the air, and sense changes around them without direct contact. Even subtle air currents can tell a cat that something nearby has shifted. So if your cat suddenly freezes near a doorway, or stares into a hall without moving, it may be responding to airflow patterns too delicate for you to notice. Something passed. Something changed the pressure. Something disturbed the space. You didn't feel it. Your cat did. And once again, this is exactly where normal explanation and paranormal interpretation begin to overlap. Because if something invisible moves through a room, how would a human know? Maybe we wouldn't. But maybe a cat, with a face full of ultrasensitive sensors, would know immediately. Number 6. Cats read the emotional energy of a room faster than most people do. Have you ever noticed your cat behaves differently around certain people? Maybe they relax instantly around one person, but remain tense around another. Maybe they enter a room and stop. Maybe they stare at someone longer than feels normal. Maybe they leave without warning. Cats are highly sensitive to body language, voice tone, routine disruption, and emotional shifts. They notice tension, fear, sadness, agitation, and stillness far more than most people realize. This is one reason they often seem to know when something feels off. Now, does that prove the paranormal? No. But it absolutely explains why so many strange cat moments happen during emotionally charged situations. A grieving home. An anxious person. A room after an argument. A corner of the house no one likes staying in. Your cat may not be reading ghosts, but it may be reading energy changes so accurately that it feels almost impossible not to attach a deeper meaning to it. And maybe that's why cats have always seemed spiritually aware. They detect what we ignore, including what people bring into a room without ever saying a word. Number 5. Their sense of smell may let them detect what lingers after someone is gone. Now this one gets deeply unsettling. Cats live in a world of scent far richer than ours. Long after a human thinks a room is neutral, a cat may still be reading layers of information left behind in the air, fabric, furniture, and walls. Fear. Illness. Stress. Presence. Familiarity. Change. A cat can walk into a room and realize something about it has shifted, even when nothing looks different to you. That may be why cats sometimes return to certain spots again and again, smelling, pausing, staring, almost like they're revisiting a trace. Before we go further, tell me in the comments, what is the strangest thing your cat has ever stared at for no reason? Because almost every cat owner has a story, and the more you hear them, the harder they are to forget. What makes this sense feel paranormal is simple. Scent can preserve the memory of presence. Your cat may be reacting to something that is no longer physically in front of you, but still exists in a sensory form they can access. And to a human watching from the outside, that looks haunting. Number 4. Cats may be sensitive to electrical and environmental changes we barely notice. Have you ever seen your cat avoid one exact corner of a room? Or stare at an appliance before it clicks on? Or leave a space right before something changes? Cats are extremely responsive to their environment. Electronic hums, static shifts, pressure changes, subtle changes in heat, tiny ongoing sounds from wires or devices. All of these can create experiences your cat notices before you do. To us, a room may feel normal. To a cat, it may be buzzing with signals. This matters because some of the most haunted experiences people report involve spaces that also feel strange physically. Sudden cold spots, buzzing silence, tension, restlessness, unease. And cats often react first. That does not automatically mean ghosts. But it does mean your cat may be responding to invisible environmental data that you are not equipped to interpret. Which still leaves one chilling possibility. When your cat refuses to enter a room, maybe it knows something about that space you never will. Number 3. They can become fixated on locations, not objects. This is one of the most disturbing patterns cat owners describe. Not just staring randomly, not reacting once, but repeatedly focusing on the same exact place. The same hallway, the same ceiling corner, the same stairwell, the same doorway night after night. That behavior unsettles people because it feels intentional, patterned, specific. Cats often build strong associations with spaces. If a location repeatedly delivers sound, scent, movement, airflow, or sensory stimulation, they remember it. They return to it. They monitor it. But from the human side, all you see is a cat treating one particular patch of emptiness like it matters. And that is where the paranormal interpretation grows strongest. Because repeated attention feels different from random attention. It feels like recognition. As if the cat has encountered something there more than once, and expects it to return. Number 2. Cats behave strangely at night because night amplifies everything they're best at sensing. There is a reason so many eerie cat stories happen after midnight. At night, human senses become less reliable. Vision drops. Sound feels sharper. Imagination gets louder. Silence becomes heavier. But for cats, night is when many of their abilities become even more effective. Low-light vision, sound tracking, movement detection, air pressure awareness, spatial sensing. So while you feel uncertain in the dark, your cat may feel more informed than ever. That's why nighttime cat behavior can feel genuinely terrifying to witness. A sudden stare toward the door, a slow head turn toward the ceiling, a puffed tail, a silent watchfulness at the end of the bed. You're lying there wondering what's wrong. Your cat is lying there like something is present. And maybe the most unsettling part is this. Your cat never looks confused. It looks certain. Number 1. Cats may not prove the paranormal exists, but they absolutely prove your reality is incomplete. This is the point where everything comes together. Do cats truly see ghosts? Science has not proven that. But science has proven something almost as unsettling. Cats experience the world through senses that are far beyond your own in specific, powerful ways. They detect sounds you never hear, movements you never notice, scent trails you never imagine, vibrations you never feel, environmental changes you never consciously register. So when your cat stares into empty darkness, reacts to a presence you cannot identify, or becomes intensely focused on something invisible, the most honest answer may not be, "There's nothing there." The most honest answer may be, "There is nothing there, for me." And that changes everything. Because once you accept that your cat lives inside a richer, stranger, more layered sensory reality than you do, the paranormal stops sounding like a joke and starts sounding like a possibility. Maybe they aren't seeing ghosts. Maybe they're simply seeing more. More than us. More than we're comfortable with. More than we can explain. And perhaps that's why cats have fascinated human beings for thousands of years. Not just because they are graceful or mysterious, but because every now and then, they look into the unseen with such calm certainty, that you start to wonder whether the unseen has been there all along. Your cat may never tell you what it sees. But one thing is clear. When they stare into nothing, they do not believe it is nothing. And maybe that should make us pause. Because in the world of a cat, reality is bigger than the human version of it. And that might be the closest thing to paranormal proof most of us will ever get. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe and stay with us. Because once you understand what your cat can sense, you begin to understand that their strange behavior is not random at all. And in the next video, we'll reveal the everyday cat behaviors that seem harmless, but may actually be secret messages your cat has.